Welcome back to another Explainer. So, today we are looking at a car that's honestly already taken the Indian market by storm. But, it was always just missing that one crucial puzzle piece. Well, guess what? That piece has finally arrived. We are breaking down the launch of the all-new 2026 Tata Punch. Whether you're a first-time buyer or you're just looking to upgrade your daily commute, this facelift is bringing some serious heat. We're going to look at exactly what's changed, what hasn't, and most importantly, if it's actually worth your hard-earned money.
All right, let's take a quick look at our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. The big turbo update, 2. New looks and dimensions, 3. Variants, features, and pricing, 4. Under-the-hood specs, and 5. The final verdict. Let's get right into it.
Starting with Section 1, the big turbo update. Now, as the reviewer at their review story so perfectly puts it, the Tata Punch finally gets a 1.2 turbo engine, which was literally the most needed thing for it to actually have punch. For years, drivers absolutely loved the stance and the incredible safety of this car, but they were craving just a bit more excitement when they put their foot down. This new turbo engine, it fundamentally changes the game. It takes the car from being just a sensible, everyday city commuter and transforms it into something that'll actually put a smile on your face out on the open road.
Moving right along to Section 2, new looks and dimensions.
So Tata clearly didn't want to mess with a winning formula too much here. If you look on the left, you can see what stayed the same. The overall silhouette and the exact physical footprint of the vehicle haven't changed at all. But look on the right. The 2026 model brings this really fresh, modern aesthetic. Up front, you're getting these new power sight LED DRLs and a totally redesigned bumper. And around the back, they've introduced these Infinity Glow connected tail lamps. Now, our source reviewer did note that some traditionalists might actually still prefer the older, separated triangular tail lamps. But honestly, there is no denying this new connected light bar design brings the Punch squarely into the modern era of automotive design.
And despite being a pretty compact car with an overall length of just 3,876 millimeters, it actually boasts a really impressive 366 liters of boot space. Maximizing that interior cargo room is just a massive win, whether you're packing up for a weekend road trip or just tackling a massive family grocery run.
Plus, we absolutely have to talk about that 193mm ground clearance. Think about Indian roads. They can be unpredictable, right? Rough patches, potholes, those massive, oversized speed bumps. Sitting 193mm off the ground really solidifies the Punch's confident, SUV-like stance. It literally gives you the peace of mind to tackle less than perfect terrain without constantly wincing, bracing for a screep. All right, on to Section 3, variants, features, and pricing. Now, if you pull up the brochure for the 2026 Punch, you might feel a little overwhelmed. Seriously, there are about 10 distinct variant levels. But don't worry, we can easily chunk this whole lineup into a really logical 3-step progression. Step 1 is your base tier. That's the Smart and Pure variants, giving you all your essential driving features. Step 2 is the mid-tier, called the Adventure trim, adding in some great comfort and everyday tech. And finally, Step 3 is the top tier, the Accomplished models. These are the ones fully loaded with all the premium bells and whistles.
And speaking of premium, if you do opt for those higher trims, the technological and safety upgrades just completely elevate the whole cabin experience. You're getting a massive 10.24-inch touchscreen that comes with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Navigating tight parking spots? Totally a breeze now, thanks to a 360-degree camera and a blind spot monitor. Plus, you get these awesome lifestyle features, a voice-assisted electric sunroof, a built-in cabin air purifier, and an auto-dimming inside rearview mirror. Oh, and the seats themselves? They've been upgraded with better materials and extended thigh support in both the front and the back. Talk about a glow-up.
So, the golden question, what does all this actually cost? The incredible thing here is the massive range in pricing, which really makes this car accessible to a huge variety of budgets. That base Smart trim? It starts at a very approachable 5.59 lakhs and tops out around 6.69 lakhs. Then your mid-tier Adventure trim runs roughly from 7.59 to 9.49 lakhs. And finally, if you want all those premium tech features we literally just talked about in the Accomplished tier, you're looking at a starting price of 8.29 lakhs, stretching up to about 10.54 lakhs for the absolute top-end Accomplished Plus S Turbo.
Which brings us to Section 4, under the hood specs.
All right, let's pop the hood. The 2026 model actually gives buyers 3 distinct powertrains to choose from. If you stick with the standard 1.2-liter naturally aspirated 3-cylinder engine, you're looking at 87 horsepower and 115 newton-meters of torque. Now, if maximizing fuel efficiency is your main goal, there's the 1.2-liter CNG option, which puts out 72 horsepower and 103 newton meters. But the real star of the show here is that brand new 1.2-liter turbo 3-cylinder engine. That one pushes a highly capable 118 horsepower and a really healthy 170 newton meters of torque.
Now, to really put that turbo engine into context, we have to compare it to its bigger sibling, the Tata Nexon. See, the Punch is now utilizing the exact same turbo engine as the Nexon, but here's the kicker. The Punch has a curb weight of just 1,000 to 1,030 kilograms. That means it is almost 200 kilograms lighter than the Nexon. This power-to-weight ratio advantage is absolutely massive. It basically means this 118 horsepower turbo engine is going to feel significantly punchier, noticeably faster, and just far more nimble in this smaller chassis than it ever could in the heavier Nexon.
And finally, Section 5, the final verdict. So, to make sure you have a completely balanced picture, let's take a look at the pros and cons reported by our source. Starting on the left, the pros are incredibly strong here. The new turbo engine makes the car genuinely fun to drive. The pricing matrix proves it's just fantastic value for money. Its lightweight design really maximizes that engine power, and of course it remains one of the absolute safest small cars you can buy in India. But looking over on the right, there are some cons to keep in mind. The reviewer did note that there's still some room for improvement when it comes to the overall interior fit and finish, some of the seating ergonomics, and, as is often a talking point with the brand, the overarching Tata after-sales service experience.
So it all boils down to this crucial question. With the new 1.2-liter turbo upgrade fixing its biggest historical weakness, is the 2026 Tata Punch now the ultimate small car in India? I mean, it pairs a safe, really rugged design with modern tech and an engine that finally matches its confident aesthetic. It certainly feels like the complete package. But only you can decide if those few reported drawbacks are actual deal breakers for you. So, which of the 10 variants are you going to test drive first? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning.